Hello, my name is Jersey Ketterich.
And I'm Sam Garner.
We are both students in Melissa Tressel's Decision Tools for Public Management course at the College of Coastal Georgia.
And we're here to talk about our topic and our final project, stressors for traditional versus non-traditional students at the College of Coastal Georgia specifically.
We are doing a study, and this is a proposal for that study for this goal. Right now we have basically the idea is to get the ideas and data between the differences between traditional and non-traditional students, to find the possible policy changes to help educate and bring up the performances for both these types of students.
And so with the goals of hoping to increase the academic performance of students, increase their GPA and graduation and retention rates within the college, we managed to find a few different studies which are very similar to our studies, but ours is going to be a bit different because we have a different geographic location. We have a bit of a diverse population when it comes to our student body. The size of our student population is also quite a bit smaller than most of the studies we reference to in our studies.
There will also be an update to older studies as well, with most of the older studies being at least 20 years old, so this will be more applicable to the current studies.
Yes. So we did a literature review, and we covered a few different people in our literature review. Hurst, Dill, Forbes, Duham, and Newbold were a few of the different people we covered in the literature review. And of course, as you mentioned before, all of their studies were different. Either it was location, student population size, updating the older information, and then of course just the demographics of the population.
They were all very, very well done, so we did what we can. We understood what the good things that they did and tried to steal what we could, and whatever was useful to us that was more applicable to our study is what we used for the College of Coastal Georgia. We also had a research methodology. We basically based our experiment on Dill and Henley. We did an anonymous survey to make sure that it was completely anonymous, so that there was we take special care to make sure that
everyone's information stays very confidential.
Exactly, no personal information. Yes,
exactly.
So also we did a 90-question questionnaire.
And we plan to base it on the Adolescent Perceived Events Scale survey, which was actually developed at the University of Vanderbilt. It was a 90-question survey where you would rate your experience from positive for being extremely good to negative for extremely bad. The 90 questions include a whole bunch of various things on what causes stress, whether it's relationships or social events in your life or work or jobs or anything along those scale. And we hope we can use that survey to get a difference between traditional and non-traditional students.
Those are all specific factors, the 90 questions being as specific as possible. And so the idea for exactly what he said also to include maybe even bill paying versus commuter students, multiple different factors. Each one of these factors, the idea is the reason why we want to do the study in the first place. All these stressors might be unique to traditional or non-traditional students, all the factors that we've mentioned already. And the more we can figure out whether it affects just traditional versus non-traditional, we can be more precise.
There's also a possibility to affect both. So you may be asking why we want to do this, and of course this is really interesting because I'm a traditional student and he's a non-traditional student. So we decided when we were first coming up with our topic, what is something that applicable to both of us. Stressors is something I'm stressed with social events and stuff like that, and he may have different stressors than me, and we wanted to see for the whole student body, would that be applicable? Do traditional and non-traditional share stressors, or do they have separate stressors?
And the final idea is that once we figure this out, we can hopefully target exactly what are the big stressors are. This way we can actually apply policy to those specific stressors for traditional versus and non-traditional. And if we get these policy changes, we can basically bring up the academic performance for all students, regardless of how old or young they are.
And of course, if the policy itself is, if our results there are no different results between traditional and non-traditional, then we can implement broad policy strokes which would help with academic performance, GPAs, retention rate, and graduation rate at the College of Coastal Georgia.
So again, my name is Jersey.
And I'm Sam.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Melissa Tressel. We really enjoyed your class, and we'll see you hopefully next semester.